In this video, we're going to talk about a special lacing situation on a type of rim that I've recently seen that I really like. First, if you haven't seen it, I want you to go to How to Build a Wheel in our wheel playlist. Now, this is your classic rim, pretty simple. There's holes all in it. These holes let us put the nipple for the spoke right through there and lace it up. Typical, not a problem. It's been done for a long time. This rim offers a unique feature, but we're going to still back up a little bit in time and say that it's been done before. Yes, it's been done before. Right here, this UST design is it's an industry standard. Notice here, no holes, no rim strip at all. They do have nipples here in special eyelets, specially put together. It's a proprietary system, different per brand, and you pretty much get what you get. You don't get to pick your spokes and you don't get to pick your hub. But it does have that nice inside that's all sealed. What's the advantage there? It's this. You get to eliminate rim tape. So on the tubeless systems, we seal up these systems with special tape we call special tape, and it's going to seal it up and it's never going to leak. Well, it's sometimes frustrating, sometimes it does leak, but more importantly, it wears out. This is not a permanent component of the bike. It's much more like your chain than your fork or your frame. So tape's going to go on, taking the tire on and off, changing it. It can pull it up and loosen it, and just simply being exposed to the sealants inside and their solvents, it can soften the bond. It can leak, but this system does not. There's no tape inside to leak. Put the valve core in, you're happy. Now to this one, which I really like, really intrigued by this. So much so, I had a friend get a pair just so I could learn. No, that's a buddy. Let's look what's going on. Here's the valve core. We're gonna have to get somehow the nipples inside here, but it's sealed. Once it's done, that's all sealed inside. No rim tape needed. It also lets us pick the hub. We get to pick whatever hub we want, whatever color, spokes, whatever type of spokes we have. So that's a big advantage. That is what we're gonna focus on here. And again, if you haven't seen how to lace, check that first, and we're gonna show you the procedure next. I promise, at least your first build is gonna be slow and tedious. At least mine was. So here's the concept. To take each nipple one at a time, we're gonna feed it in the only hole available from the tire side, the valve core hole, around the rim into the correct position, engage the spoke, and do it again and again and again and again, and not drop any inside the rim. You won't like that. Of course, check the manufacturer's websites, check the literature, but this is what I came up with. Come closer and let's have a look. In order to guide internally, we're going to use a strong magnet, such as the magnet from the IR 1.2. Will guide in the middle of our carbon rim. It's going to guide things along, but something that's magnetic. This is a pile of nipples. They're made of brass, not magnetic at all. Aluminum nipples, not magnetic. A steel nipple will be a less expensive nipple. Don't use that. But the spoke we're going to put inside, that's going to give us our pull. Steel spokes, I have two right here. And we can see this pretty shiny one is stainless steel, weakly magnetic. It's a bit magnetic. Check out this one. This is carbon steel. That's just a zinc or a galvanized finish. It is not the nice finish, not as good a spoke for riding, but boy, that is some good magnetic properties. This is the one we want to use as our guide. So we only want about an inch, a little less than an inch would be good, maybe 7/8 or 22 millimeters if you think that way. So I'm going to come in here, and we're going to use that strong backside of the jaw where the mechanical advantage is, and cut. All right, if it's too long, we can always cut a little more later. Let's see what happens. So my thread, it's a 2.2 millimeter thread. It matches. This is going on great. And that's what I'm talking about. That's a good pull. That's going to let us guide it around. That's that part, but there's more. Let's see it. Initially, I thought it would be good to work vertically. The hub's down here, spoke's going to come down, gravity's going to help. Turned out, not so good. I preferred horizontal, and show you how that's done. So, with this down, I need to have the hub straight up with the axle. I need to match about that flange there so they're all even. You could use 2 pieces of wood, but what's a better piece of wood? The best pieces of wood, of course, are paper, some books. So I'm going to put a book under here. Let's put a different book under there. There we go. We're pretty much level with the flange. Close enough. Okay, now let's have a look. Again, oh, that's a bit tippy. Not so good. Let's try this. You can put a stud through a board. It's going to be flopping around. I didn't like that either. So simple woodworking clamp here at the end there. There we go. That's just going to keep that upright. That's good for me. Now everything's held. I can get to work here. First, I got to look for my first spoke. Valve core's here. I look at the spoke direction. I want that one there to be the first hole I'm going to use. And for my flange, it's going to be this one right here. I need to get it right there. So now the magic. Take this, it goes in the only hole on the rim that's possible. Oh, you can feel that. You hear that? That is nice. You have good engagement there. Drag it across the top. Skip that hole. I need this one here. Work it around. Talk to it. Come on out there. Oh, yeah. There. You can see that was fun. It's going to get better. So now I have to hold this with my fingers. I have to unscrew that, and then I have to put the spoke in. I can't spin the spoke, right? I got to spin my fingers, what, half a turn and engage the thread. Ah! And that is what you want to avoid. I have a solution for this. But the first step is ignore it, keep going, deal with it later. We're kicking that can down the road. We'll get that rattle out another day. Let's try that again, and let's think through the problem. That's very awkward to grab. We need a tool, and we will make one. That looks an awful lot like a clothespin. In fact, it was a clothespin. It is the BH 1.2, named after the person kind enough to buy these rims so I could learn. Or that's what I think anyway. Well, what happened? We cut this down short, very short to increase the power. We want to grab at the back. We put a notch in them to help grab the nipple. And we cut the back end short as well because it must spin inside the radius of the rim. So let's see it in action here. I'm going to pull on that guide stud that's in there. Oh, very good. That is holding nicely. Make sure you're engaged. This is good. If I push inward, look at that. It's not falling in at all. That tension is holding it. Now I can unthread the guide stud. Very good. I will see you later. In goes the one spoke I need. And now I turn in a clockwise direction. I'm going to pull on that spoke. I got engagement. That's fantastic. It's engaged. A couple more times for good luck. Then I'm going to undo that. And now let's finish this up. Come up, but leave yourself, say, 3 threads or so. Do not come up all the way on those threads. You want to leave them a little bit sloppy, but you definitely want enough engagement. It doesn't fall loose later in the process. So that I found was a big help. Keeps me from cursing and speeds the process both. Now for the next. The steel stud inside the nipple in the valve core hole, engage. From where we were, we count 1, 2, 3, 4th. This one here is what I want. Work it. Come to Papa, where are you? Thank you. There we are. The next spoke to the right at the flange will go right here. I am ready to engage PH1. Oh, this is a good example. I threaded that in too much. I'm going to have to unthread it a little bit now I can get it. See the difference there? That was good. Possibly the 1.3 should be maybe a little bit narrower here. I did try an alligator clip, did not like it. It did not have that notch ability here. So the alligator clip was, but see what works for you. Now, the spoke engaged. Rotate a few turns. Test it. Test before you yes, I'm there. Unclip only after you test it. Now I can run it up with the fingers. That's 2, only 22 more to go. Lather, rinse, repeat. Again, all the way around till you're done. We'll see you later. And there it is. Lovely, beautiful. 2-cross, 24-hole front wheel. Later to do the rear. Now, what's going on? No holes here. Only one for the valve core. Valve core goes in, ready for the tire. No tubeless tape needed here. Later, when the rest of us are putting on new tape, trying to scrape off the old knock and get it clean and put new tape on, this rider's down the road, miles down the road, laughing. But the rest of us are changing the tape. That's why I like this system. It's already done. So valve core, tire, done. Well, almost. There's one more thing we need, and it's some randomness. Got some lost nipples inside of there. They got one place to come out. They're going to bounce around until they just come out. It's set. 1,000 monkeys on 1,000 typewriters for 1,000 years will produce a Shakespearean play, or possibly a script for a Tech Tuesday. We're going to keep going. But while you're shaking, think of this. What is this system called? I don't even know. This is a new type of standard. It's not UST. It's not that. There's no access holes. Do you call it a tapeless system? I don't know. Call a system by the non-system? It seems weird. So what's a good name for this type of system? Holes on the inside, none on the outside. I don't know. I just know I got some shaking to do.